Duke Callaway in another series, and this is on my 1978 Porsche. It's a 928. And what happened was this one was leaking fuel, and come to find out it was this O-ring or the fuel tank straining or strainer seal. And what I ended up having to do was I replaced the actual strainer itself and what I consider to be an O-ring with Porsche parts. And what you'll need is a 17 millimeter deep socket to actually unscrew this. And then when I put the new one in, before I put the seal in, I put motor oil on both sides of the seal, slipped it on, and then I also put like anti-seize on the threads of the screen, so that way there should be no issue in case I have to do this in another 40 years from now. The parts themselves, these are Porsche. This is a fuel tank strainer, which is this. And then the fuel tank seal ring, which is this piece here. And again, this is Porsche. And then what I did here for the fuel pump mount, because you're going to find there's like a rubber bushing that has two studs on the end. And this is from Meister Sats. That's a fuel pump mount with this particular part number. Or this air filter housing mount. Either one of these two are pretty much the exact same piece. And I'll show you what we did here. You have to excuse me like crawling in a car. Yeah, this is even the car my wife and I dated in a million years ago. But back in here, if you can see this, Gustavo, there's a cover, and then back behind it, this is the actual fuel tank strainer. Can you see that, Gustavo? Which is here. And then you have the fuel line, and this at the very bottom of the gas tank. And from here, the fuel line into the pump. This is the fuel pump mounts or the air filter mounts. I think it's a 6 millimeter threads. You have like 10 millimeter nuts, and this one happened to be an acorn nut. You'll pull this up, and you have this plate that you'll lay down. Actually, it sits like this. But you'll put this plate back, and then there's two more studs that are on the gas tank straps that you'll also put your nuts up on the top. So you'll have four at the bottom that'll basically sit like this. But this seems to be a common problem, is this O-ring, if you will, that's on the fuel tank strainer. And I can see why. I mean, it just completely cratered, and we had gasoline all inside of our little warehouse back here. But it's very straightforward once you know the part numbers, and that's why I wanted to show you this. That way you're not having to go to the Porsche dealership or to a mechanic. You can actually do this by yourself. So anyway, I hope this helps. Thanks for your time.